I'm testing this client's Ampeg BA-115, and I have to be honest, it's not my favorite amp I've ever used. I've got the treble, mids, and bass set flat. I'm just playing with the preset tone circuit positions and making sure the amp is working. And I thought I'd show some changes on this Squire I made. This is that 60s classic vibe precision, though it is less and less Squire. First step was to upgrade the bridge. As I mentioned in the review, it was really not very good quality. It was not flush to the body. So this is the Fender American Vintage bridge that they use on a lot of the old stuff. Pretty much the same thing since 1957. And the quality of this bridge is just immensely better. And to reinforce how cheap the stock bridge was, this infinitely better quality replacement was $28. So $28 gets you a fantastic bridge. That shows how cheap the stock bridge was. It's got a switchcraft jack, CTS pots. I did 500K linear for more fine control. So it's not just, everything from 8 to 10 and then it goes quiet. So I'm not using this for sweeps. I'm not using this to go between clean and dirty amps. I just wanted to fine tune of the volume range, and the linear gives me that. 250K audio taper with a 100 nanofarad tone cap as opposed to the 47 stock. I went with 500K to get a little more clarity out of the bass because down the road I may have a jazz bass. I may have some other things as well. For right now, I wanted something that could get a little more treble than a stock P, and I can always dial it back by just turning the tone knob slightly. Can't really demonstrate that that much on this Ampeg because the circuit has some limitations that you'll hear. Also put in a Fralin 5% underwound P-bass pickup. So, it's a lot of pickup for a Squire, but with any electric instrument, this is to a degree what you're playing. So it's got good coupling to the body with a better bridge. There's nothing wrong with the body and the neck. It's got a really good quality P-bass pickup now. This could have been a Duncan. This could have been a DiMarzio, et cetera, et cetera. I went with Fralin because I knew that this would be a good test point for almost any amp that this ever gets played through. So with a 500K audio, linear and 250K audio, everything full up on this Ampeg. If I want to roll that down slightly to more of a standard P-bassing, I can roll it down more. Do some fake Motown stuff. This doesn't have flats. It doesn't have the foam, so it's not going to do the full Motown thing. I can palm mute to fake it a little bit. Or just get a kitchen sponge. But that's down the line if I wanted to get into expensive additions like a kitchen sponge. The bass came with Diodario 45 through 105 nickel strings. Those are fine. I put on some DR Lowrider 40 through 100. I like the tension of them, and I knew that I had a lot of strength to rebuild, and just going this slightly lighter gauge gave me a leg up on that. As I redevelop my technique, as I redevelop my hand strength, I may go to a thicker gauge on these, but I'm really happy with it. The string-to-string clarity is very nice. You're not going to get the best example through this Ampeg. But I know that if I put in the hours, this bass will hold up for that. I'm still working on calluses. I'd forgotten that I used to have a callus all along this finger right here. And I had forgotten that when I first started bass, this middle finger started flopping everywhere whenever I fretted anything. And I've been working really hard at keeping that and keeping my hand position correct and trying to keep this hand always in the same position, and all these little things have to come together. Maybe in another month or two, I'll consider myself to be a bass player again rather than a bass owner. But it's very rewarding, and I enjoy playing it. I forgot how it went. Anyway, so I'm real happy with how the bass came out. I know when I test bass amps now, I'll have something that gives a real good indication of how the amp is working. On this Ampeg, it's not my favorite. I'll run through the 5 positions it offers. Position 1, let's see. Position 2. Position 3. Position 4. Position 5. I guess if I had to use this, I'd probably choose position 2. And you can tweak from there, turn the treble down, the mids up, the bass down. Or do the awful smiley face thing. Anyway, that clarity from the 500K volume is there. So I can fake some jazz bass stuff, but just roll back a little bit and get that P thing. Still not a fan of this particular amp, but I've got an Ampeg hand-wired SVT that just came in, brand new. I'm going to convert it from 120 volts to 240 volts because it's going to a client in Chile. And you'll get to hear that in a day or two. And this will be a good platform to make sure the amp is working as it should. So sorry, BA-115. Got an SVT coming up, and you're going to get displaced.